Well, hi, everybody. I'm here today with a friend and colleague, Amanda Facio. We're excited to talk to you today about Amanda's high value writing story. I'm Erin, and this is High Value Writing. We're starting to share on this new playlist real people's experiences with what they're dealing with in writing and communication and how they're using strategies, logic, planning, analysis to get through these situations to improve relationships and business outcomes. Sometimes folks are using the workbook, sometimes they're using our videos that you may have seen too. So Amanda is a manager in HR and learning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
We're really excited to be chatting. We are using a microphone on a pen, so that's the situation right now. So Amanda, what was happening in your work that made you think, I want to get really intentional with my communication right now?
Yeah, so I was dealing with a lot of projects that were really high level, really large projects, global projects, and we were trying to get buy-in from our executive team. As you know, as viewers may know, our executive teams are very to the point, need to be direct, but not too direct. There's definitely an art to communication with executives, and that is where I started to really see the need for enhancing my communication skills.
Yeah, I love how you put that there's an art to communicating with executives. People bring it up often. They'll say that the higher, quote unquote, they go up the ladder with their messages, the briefer they get, knowing that that person has a lot going on. So where you wanted to get more streamlined, more brief, more kind of what an exec is looking for. So what kind of strategies did you look at using?
So I really looked at using tone and verbs. You recently did a video on is, are, they, and making it into an action verb. And that was really something that I put into the emails or the presentations that we were doing. A lot of it was written communication. We were trying to get our point across and buy-in from those executives. Right. So a lot of it was taking, paragraphs and summarizing them in maybe 3 bullet points so that the executives could go in, take a look and know what they needed, and understanding what they need to know now, what they need to know, what they never need to know, and then what they can know later, right? That was a huge piece and really clicked for me.
So Amanda just mentioned a couple videos, so we'll link right here to that video on using verbs. Active ones, she's right. If we say something like, this is blah, 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 what information have we given with the word is, right? What does it mean to is? And then secondly, that now, later, never process, where if you feel like, hey, I've got 30 details, does my reader want all 30? This kind of analysis can help you decide. So have you gotten feedback? What kind of results have you seen? We often talk about how you can learn what works in writing by watching your readers' behaviors. So what have you observed?
Going from writing paragraphs and emails to a couple of bullet points, I observed that there were quicker responses, a lot more buy-in, and a lot less questions, right? They understood what they needed to know from that perspective, and without all of the fluff, which actually reduced questions. I think when you give too much information, you start to get a lot of questions back from your stakeholders that are involved.
Yeah, that's a great point, and it almost sounds counterintuitive, I think, right? We think, hey, if I don't want follow-up calls, let me explain everything in my email. But that actually can end up turning into overwhelm. I've been accused of that with my emails, like, Erin, that was a lot of ideas, and we're actually getting better success. She actually said less, but got fewer follow-up questions, right? Last question, has anybody said anything to you about your writing style and your changes, and or reacted not only like more quickly but with a different opinion or a different tone? Have you seen any kind of like emotional changes or relational changes with what you've done?
Yeah, great question. Yes, in short. So I think a lot of that is just building trust. A lot of the stakeholders, regardless of if they're executives or senior leaders or just my team in general, a lot of it is just more trusted, right? They trust the process. They trust my insights. They trust the information that I'm giving them is accurate, but also pertaining to the project and what they need to know. So a lot of that is building relationships with fellow business partners.
Wow. Yeah, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about it that way, that we're actually sharing a better sort of image of ourselves and our work when we make everything in our writing like ABCD. It makes it look like we are also very clear at our thinking, and it shows them we're getting our work done and builds trust. And it's interesting because sometimes I'll be writing in a more casual way or a longer way. And when I edit, I think I used to add things to an email, and now I delete them. Now I delete everything I can before sending, because what we want to think about is, what does the reader need to hear? So yes, anything else you wanted to add before we conclude?
Sure. What I learned through communication and with the help of your book, Erin, is communication really is a piece of your brand. So I think while we all go through our careers or try to strive for our goals, our communication is a big part of our personal brand. And that has really been kind of a key for me to remember, what do I want to present as to fellow stakeholders or business partners, and how can I make sure that I carry that brand through.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, because you're right. We're not only creating trust, but kind of showing who are we. And I even know people who I've never met, but I know them. And it's because we've written back and forth for all this time, so we're forging relationships and showing who we are and building our brand.
Yep, exactly.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking with me,
you.
Amanda. Folks, if you would like to share your high-value writing story, a way that you've used your intentional choices and strategies in your writing and what was the outcome, let me know in the comments. We're going to be filming more of these. Amanda is the star of the very first face-to-face one. So thank you so much, and thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you soon.